Tottenham till I die, Spurs die hard. Tottenham till I die. Tottenham till I die. Tottenham till I die. Spurs die hard. Tottenham till I die.
Hello and welcome to the regular Friday edition of Spurs Diehards TTID Tottenham Till I Die. Tonight we'll be talking about the pre-season tour, we'll talk about transfer window, we'll talk about Chelsea game tomorrow, and there's a little bit of Spurs news and views I can give you, but I'm not going to make a long-winded introduction. I don't do them, so I'm going to introduce my guest straight away. Sean, how are you up in the top right-hand corner?
I'm fine, yes. Feeling it now. I might have to put on the radiator later. 14 degrees here in Glasgow, or just outside Glasgow. But then the Premier League got underway today, and good to see that Rangers continue in their same form by drawing away at Dundee United. So all good.
Spoken like a true Celtic fan. James, how's the weather where you on the south coast? Is it 14 degrees or warmer?
It's unbearably hot, and I really want it to be winter soon so I can be comfortable again and start. See, I'm someone who doesn't have much of a summer wardrobe. I have a winter wardrobe. I have a lot of coats. I have I bought a bunch of coats from the Navy surplus shop. I have some Russian trench coats. I have some British Marines ones. Lots of leather jackets. I don't have any summer attire. So as soon as it gets chilly again and everyone's freezing and whinging about how cold it is, I'm going to be happy again. So.
I'm in shorts and T-shirt and bare feet, well, with sandals on. Yeah, because it's in tropical Edmonton, you know, the Riviera of North London. I live a mile and a half from the ground. Yeah, it's pretty much, it is warm. It's a warm evening. You know, there's sort of almost humidly warm evenings at the moment. Yeah, and I'm heat intolerant. I do not like the heat, right? So anyway, we'll start with the pre-season tour, guys. Sydney FC won, Spurs won, and the game went to penalties. But the game, did you watch the game, James?
I did not. I did not wake up at 4 a.m. to watch that.
It wasn't 4 a.m. It's 10:45 that game.
That's still very early for me.
Okay. All right. So you're one of those people that never get hangovers in the morning because you don't get up until the afternoon, yeah?
Yeah, pretty much. I like to wake up at about 1 in the afternoon.
Okay. Well, okay then. Sean, did you watch the game?
I did indeed watch the game, and very much a pre-season stretch, much like the game in Auckland last weekend. So yeah, it was a good. You know, some players performed, others didn't. I did feel that Sydney were rather rough. They were a bit rough with our precious boys. There were some very strong tackles with it in, considering it was, it was a pre-season game. But obviously they got the message, you know, rough up these millionaire footballers and see how they like it down under.
It took about the 12th leg breaking tackle before the referee issued a yellow card. Didn't it?
Yeah, it reminded me much of the World Cup when Argentina were playing.
Ratting in '66 or the recent one? Animals, yeah.
I do think it's
eye-catching performance, Sean. Or did you watch highlights, James?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
And did you see anything in the highlights that you liked? Like any catching players there?
Luca Barnett Williams.
Barnett, yeah. Luca Williams.
Barnett Williams. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, well, I'm just gonna call him Williams.
Described as LWB, and some people think that means left wing back.
Hey, same surname as me. I'm just gonna call him Williams. Obviously comes from good stock. I thought he looked good. I don't put too much faith in preseason games because I mean, hey, like Ange's first preseason games, Giovanni Lo Celso looked world class, and
so did Oliver Skip.
Exactly. But you know, hence why I don't. But hey, he looked really good, and he's a youth player, so hopefully he can have a big impact. Whether or not he does is an entirely different question. But hey, let's dare to dream. Let's dare to dream.
Even Robinson, when he came on, I thought he was good. I mean, people moan about his age, but he got down that left-hand side and he actually put crosses in, Sean.
Yeah, I think he showed exactly why he's been bought.
Mm.
He's a forward-thinking left back who knows how to put a ball into the box. We just need to have strikers who know that that's their job to be in the box in order to receive them. Unfortunately, our poor Yang had another nightmare in front of goal and missed two golden opportunities. But, you know, he was no worse than Conor Gallagher, who had a bit of a mare in that first half. I think he had about 4 or 5 golden opportunities. And the closest he got was he struck the post.
Yeah.
But, and obviously the highlight for me has got to be Matisse Tell's free kick. What a goal. What a goal.
That was a fantastic goal, actually. So pleased for the kid. If he could add goals, I mean, I want to see him. Look, I mean, let's talk about Matisse Tell, right? I mean, I like the player. He may not have time, or he may be sold, so we might not see him develop. But when we're after someone like Krupi, now, to me, I've watched videos of Krupi, and he's not an out-and-out 9. And he seems to hang back like Tell, but he seems to get shots from the box off. I would like to see Tell do that. I'd like to see him play through the middle. De Zerbi says he's a winger. He's not a winger in my mind. I just think he's an inside forward. I mean, when he was in the PSG academy and playing for the French under-21s, or even at Bayern, when Kane come in, he's pushed back, but he was playing as a 9 at Bayern. Bayern have got great wingers, haven't they? So he played in the 9. So I want him kept. If he's sold, he's sold. But I'd like him kept because I think we may be able to get a good tune out of him with this upgrading squad players.
I mean, there aren't that many out-and-out 9s just in general. I mean, I think broadly academies have focused players into being more versatile than specialising them in specific roles, which is why we're not seeing out-and-out attackers. I mean, Krupi as a potential signing is, I mean, he's out for 4 months due to injury.
Yeah.
Are we really going to spend 100 million on a guy who won't feature until January at the soonest?
And then he's going to have to prove his fitness because it's ACL.
Yeah.
Someone made the case though that for 5 weeks or so we won't be playing because of international breaks. And maybe it's not such a bad idea to buy him in the first place. But you know, it's all nonsense, really. To be honest, it's
Yeah, I mean, you know, trouble is there aren't. You know, you look back 10 years ago, and I think who are the best players in the world? Bale, Messi, Ronaldo. Hell, you could even say Harry Kane. And now who's it? Mbappe, who I don't think's really all that good, if I'm perfectly honest. Sorry to be a contrarian. Who's winning the Ballon d'Or these days? Ousmane Dembele, who's not even the best Dembele I've seen play football. I mean, football's fallen off a cliff in terms of the quality of the individuals. It's just about finding the players that will suit the system. And I don't think Krupi's all that. I do think on a fundamental level, maybe the youth players are going to suit what De Zerbi wants to do much, much, much better. Okay, I'm told I'm too pale.
I'm just going through the chat. Good evening, King Oliver, friend of the show. King Oliver's a friend of every show, basically. 3 weeks to a greatest show. So, well, today, King Oliver, I actually purchased a ticket for the Hoffenheim game on 15th, the friendly. And then we play them on the 16th as well. You know, I did look through their squad to see if we're interested in these players, but yeah, and there is one. We may talk about him later. Big up, Peter. If you want to come on, Peter, I'll send you the link. I don't know if you're working because I don't know what the time zone is there, but I'll send you the link anyway. If you want to chat, right? So
I'm not that pale. I'm not that pale.
Okay, King of James, good evening, folks. You're well. He probably just doesn't like the sun, right? So, where are we? Copy. I'm waiting for Steve's going to turn up. He'll be here.
I mean, when you, who currently in world football do you think is a world-class number 9? Because to me, the only answer is Harry Kane, maybe Mbappe or Haaland. But outside of those three, I don't see anyone who is.
Yeah. You got Haaland, Kane, like you said. And these players, they come along, they're sort of generational, aren't they? You know, they just come along. When they turn up, you're just glad to be able to watch them. Yeah. Peter's gifted 5 memberships. Big up, Peter. He's in Australia. I've sent you the link, Peter. If you want to come on, you can come on. But I don't know if he's a paramedic, so he might be at work and just having a break or something. I don't know. I don't know what the time difference is because I can't remember what state he's in Australia. By that, I don't mean a drunken state, by the way. Right. So, yeah. King of the go. Okay, back to where I was on the banners. Scroll up. Where was that? I'm scrolling the wrong way, obviously. This was where we was. So back to the game. Yeah, great free kick by Tell, right? Again, I thought Malachi Hardy and Lucas Wimbarlett were good again.
Yeah, I mean that seems to be the popular idea is that Malachi Hardy is you know he's turning up and showing up, and people are quite surprised, and because obviously if you don't follow the youth team, you wouldn't know about him. I don't really know about him, to be fair. So, but yeah, it's you know, as I say, I suppose it's for the young players to try and catch the eye of the coach, and it's for the established players to just get some minutes in the legs, you know, and that's all we can read into it. I mean, I just, as I say, I just hope we don't have a meltdown if we lose the game tomorrow to Chelsea. But you know, say the be. That's
and young Kieran Martin, James. I mean, the games I've watched him, he's actually a midfielder. But you never know the final positions these young players are going to end up playing. But he's actually a midfielder. But he's got good touch. He's good on the ball, and he's done a good job. And he's been at both fullback positions as well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd agree. Fantastic first touch. I mean, you know, look at a guy. You say you never know where they're going to end up. I mean, Harry Kane's a great example of that. I mean, he started as a midfielder, I think, predominantly in youth academy, before he's moved to the more forward positions. You know, he's obviously got a good first touch, good pass on him. Who knows where it's going to go? You know, again, who knows if he's actually good enough? It's very difficult to answer that, but yeah, I mean, there's promising signs, certainly.
I mean, Sean, you alluded to some sort of iffy performances. And when we bounce into Australia, with short notice, we're playing a game. And these games to me are about, well, they're about fitness, but more than that to me, because you need to play these games because a lot of the games, even if you're a player coming back of injury and all that, you need to have the speed of thought between your ears, right? To make that right pass, to not overhit, to not underhit and all that. And we've still been sloppy with the ball. We should have buried these teams, really. So you need to gain that speed of thought. I can trust players like VDV not getting games and things like that, you know. You save them for the three games we've got at home, you know, against Getafe and the 2 against Hoffenheim. Yeah. So to me, it's you need to get that speed of thought. Your decision-making then becomes better with more game time. What's your take?
Yeah, I mean, it's about, I suppose it's about establishing passing patterns and connections, and it's a bit difficult to do because how many of the players are we expecting to leave us by the end of the transfer window? You know, for example, Solomon's linked with West Ham, for example, as one example, and obviously Bergvall is in the middle of a tug of war between Brighton, Forest, and possibly Newcastle.
Yeah.
So we don't really know what the team is going to be come the 22nd of August, but at the minute it's about making sure that we don't get any injuries, so don't take any risks, as seems to be the message that the De Zerbi is sending out today, and just get the minutes in so that the muscle memory comes in, and the passing connections are made between those players that will stay. He looks very hands-on in his training from the videos, De Zerbi, and it will work for some and it won't work for others.
Yeah. Yeah. So we win the game on penalties. I didn't watch the penalties. I went out. I watched them later. So, and I don't think these academies, any of them, are going to break through. I mean, unless we were going to keep Moore or Luca Williams-Barnett, but they're young enough to go on loan again. For 4 people.
Well, I think Lucas can't leave, can he? Because he's under 18.
Yeah, he can't go on loan. You can't until you're 18 years of age.
I mean,
and you can't change in a men's dressing room till you're 18 years of age as well, believe it or not.
No safeguarding, yeah.
Does he have to have one of the Spurs players with him to order him a roast dinner so he can have a pint with his his meal when he's 17? I mean, he's obviously a talent. I mean, he does look like a very good player. I mean, the fact that he's under the age of 18 shows that. But I do actually think for a long time we've mismanaged our loans. We've sent players away for the sake of it. And I think, look at a guy like maybe Archie Gray, who my former football coach, who has more football coaching badges than we do. Not that I think FA coaching badges mean anything, because they're stupid. That's a whole other show. He's a Leeds fan, for reference, and he thinks, no, shouldn't take him back on loan. Are you really telling me Hull wouldn't take Archie Gray on loan and pay his wages? A guy who can play right back, centre back, midfield, fills 3 positions for them, a club cash-strapped, get Premier League experience, probably going to play 30 games. You're really telling me he couldn't go there for a season? Get all that experience and
it's not that, James. I see where you're coming from, but the biggest error we've made in the past with recruiting players is, one, they've not got game times of the club they've gone to, and we haven't. But now we can pull them back in January. We've changed all that. You don't play them, we're pulling them back. And 2, you can't just send a player out to a club that wants him. You need to look at that club squad, see if they need the type of player that we're sending them, so as they get game time, because that hasn't happened in the past.
I mean,
Dane Scarlett went to Ipswich when McKenna got him promoted the first time. I mean, O'Neill's manager there now, I think. But he didn't get any game time. Hanging Hook went to Coventry under Lampard, didn't get any game time.
Well, Scarlett went to Portsmouth under, I can't remember who the manager was, but then they changed manager to John Messino, which is like a bad spelling of Jose Mourinho, and he got no game time, because the new manager didn't rate him. And he looked awful. And then, you played in those Europa League games under Ange and he looked like a player. And you just think, well, maybe that loan's been mismanaged. I mean, Mikey Moore, whether or not you think he's good enough, he did actually have a good loan spell at Rangers. He had minutes. He had opportunities.
Under a different manager at Rangers.
Yeah. I mean, he did play some meaningful minutes at Rangers. And even my mate who's a Rangers fan said, he has his spells where he's really, really good. And that's what you want from a lone player, to get consistent game time, or at least have the opportunity to have game time and have that impact. And I feel like a lot of our loans, it's just, even if you really want to go back, like Kane at Leicester didn't really have that many minutes. Kane at Leyton Orient didn't have that many minutes necessarily. Obviously, maybe had an impact. But even if they don't necessarily do all that when they're on loan, that's still valuable learning opportunities for these players. I just feel like we've mismanaged these loans for too long.
Yeah, I think they're getting it better now. Well, they couldn't get it any worse. Right, so that's good. Yeah, yeah. Barnett looks good. I mean, Fernandez won't play tomorrow. Got a slight knock on the injury front. There is good news. So there is good news. I've got a banner up here somewhere. Where is it? And scroll down. Yeah. Just to say that, these are our injury woes at present. You've got Odebert and Simmons, they're long-term about January. Kulusevski and Kudus are weeks away. And by that, I did, for those of you, 60 of you viewing us or listening on various platforms, I did post a clip of Decky training because Kulusevski's in full training. And he was hitting some hard shots with his left foot and his right foot. I don't recall what knee he damaged, but he was whacking that ball. He was really hitting that ball. Did you guys see the clip I sent?
No, I've not seen that clip, but I've certainly read that he's back at training. I noticed that. I noticed that. There was Bentancur and Pape also came back this week, and so did Senesi. So yeah, they'll be. It'll be interesting to see. To me, it's not about the ability to kick the ball. It's about running and whether he can take a tackle. That's the thing. All we need is the last thing we need is for him to have another impact on that knee. And
no, I mean, De Zerbi's been very good with player welfare, though. He's not risking anyone. I mean, Maddison probably could play, but he probably thinks, well, if you know what the player can do, then it's just fitness and match sharpness between the ears, with me as well, So,
Okay. So would anybody, and I really hope my mate Marco, or as I call him, Mark the Shark, is listening, because one of our mutual friends, George, came out with a take regarding Kulusevski. Now, keep in mind, George is an Arsenal fan, and he came out with one of the worst footballing opinions I've ever heard. And I'm going to read it to you. Kulusevski is a pace merchant. Now, Adrian, would you say Kulusevski is a player who relies on his pace as opposed to his technical ability?
Okay, Kulusevski, right? Because actually, the reason I've done a lot on him, he is my favourite player at Spurs. So you might get a bit of bias out of me on this, right? Fair enough, right? So this is what he is. He scored 25 goals and got 26 assists in 147 games. That's a 1 in 3 GO, which is fantastic. People say he's not top speed, right? Appearances across all competitions, that's on top speed 34.7, right? The average speed of a player in the Premier League, and I've got that somewhere, because I always come with facts, guys that are listening, right? So, is about, now that's 21.56. Well, the average speed of a Premier player is about 19.8 miles an hour. He is not slow, Kulu. But bear in mind, when you've got VDV and you've got who's 37 kilometers an hour, and you've got Spence and you Doggy who are over 34 kilometers an hour, he might seem a bit slow to other players. What I like about him, he scores goals. No, there ain't many people in our team that score goals. We know he had a crap season by his own standards, the last one before he got injured. But his numbers are good. And but sometimes Spurs fans just choose to dislike a reason for no player for no logical reason, and that's it.
I mean,
I'll find that other banner.
For me,
I also like to dispel untruths or uncomfortable truths to some fans. I mean, even if they're uncomfortable to me, I won't defend the indefensible. So, this is it. Premier League players' average top speed is 31 to 32 kilometers, 19.2 to 19.8 kilometers, and Decky is faster than that, right? Top speed of 34.7. So, and when I can't find the information online, I go and ask AI. So as accurate as AI is, as accurate as I can be, if I Googled the info, right? So I wouldn't want to mislead you just because I like a particular or dislike a particular player.
I mean, to me, Eric Kulusevski is very much the Eriksen replacement for us. I mean, he's a very similar player in terms of his abilities, his speed's pretty much irrelevant. He's a technically very impressive player. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, if you disagree. I think he's technically brilliant. My friend calling him a pace merchant is the most casual football take ever. Then again, he thinks Arsenal play good football. So, well, that guy doesn't watch football, does he? Coincidentally, he started watching Arsenal when they started winning things. So, merchant. When I think pace merchant, I think Aaron Lennon. I think maybe Bale, which, to be fair, is a disservice to those two fantastic players. Aaron Lennon was a brilliant player, beyond the fact that he was very quick, as was Gareth Bale. Kulusevski's never been a particularly... I mean, he's quick, sure, he can run fast, but he's always been a very technical player. I mean, most of his high-impact moments for Spurs have been him being very good on the ball, I feel, at least. And I think, actually, his best position is behind the striker, be it Richarlison or Solanke. By the way, Romero scored more goals for Spurs than Solanke has, so that's cool, isn't it?
The deal for him's nearly done, so he'll be gone. Right, so yeah, Sean. I mean, Sean's right. I mean, like, Kulu's got to prove himself when he comes back, and he's got to be tested. At least it's a forward injury and not an ACL anterior one. So he looked fine when I looked at him. His mobility, I was looking for his mobility, and shooting with both feet. It shows his balance is okay. No reaction. So, I mean, I want him back to his best. And same with Kudus. And suddenly, with them two back for the beginning of the season, or if not a couple of weeks into the season, looking at them now, the squad's starting to break up, We have wingers. We can play wingers on both sides. That's without who we're going to get in. So, yeah. Okay. Let's move on to this. Right. The game's tomorrow. All you viewing on various platforms. If you're in the UK, it's at 10:45, same as the last game against Sydney FC.
Where is it? What country is it in?
Australia. It's our last game. Then we're flying home. We'll probably fly home on a Sunday.
It's in the other stadium in Sydney, the old Olympic one. Yeah.
Let's play a London rival on the other side of the world.
Yeah, I mean, I just think whoever organised this needs to take him around the corner and give him a good slap, because you don't need intense games when there's history between clubs, because one bad tackle, you lose a player for the start of the season. That's why I was a bit cautious, and I did a predicted lineup, which we will come on to. But even last year when we played Newcastle and Arsenal, why? I know we beat Arsenal, got a bit of bragging rights, but why? I mean, De Zerbi, after this first season at Spurs, he's going to need to virtually tell the club what the teams that he'd like to play.
I mean, in De Zerbi's case, those 7 games where, fair play, he got us out of trouble. He got out of shit creek.
Yeah.
Which if you average his points total over an entire season, we'd have been about mid-table, with a severely depleted squad. Which is a miracle. I feel like in some cases, if you're the manager for 7, high pressure games, you know who's good enough and who isn't. You know who wants to go, who doesn't want to go. These games are about fitness. These are just about giving the kids a run out and going, oh, he's better than I thought he might have been. Maybe he can, play in the first round of the FA Cup against, I don't know, Bognor Regis. Which my mate played for, and they're in Football Manager, so he's in a Football Manager game. But that's what it seems more like to me. I don't see why we have to go halfway across the world or to play Chelsea when we could just do that here. But then complain about player welfare and they play too many matches. Pick one struggle, guys. I don't know.
Attendances have been good at these games, Sean. Go on, you're going to say something as well, weren't you?
Yeah, just that when you have a shirt sponsor which is based in Hong Kong and Australia and Korea and that part of the world, they demand their money worth. They're paying us whatever £30 million a season to have their horrible red logo on our shirts. So you can't take the money and not dance a tune for the Piper on parade. That's the problem. You can't just,
And the travelling games. I mean, you're travelling out there. As soon as you're there, you're not having a week to acclimatise. You're playing a game 2 days later, right? So,
I mean, I don't know if any of you have, you know when you go on holiday. Hello. You know when you go on holiday to another country where it's like really hot, like the West Indies or Spain or wherever, and the plane doors open and you step out and you just get hit by that heat. Those players would have been hit by that and then be like, "You're starting right back in 6 hours, mate. Get ready."
There's winter there, though.
Winter there, though. Their summer's at Christmas.
Blimey, it's the other way round. So they'd been used to like 35-degree heat in London, and now it's all chilly. Like, right.
Okay.
Take your hoodie off, mate. You're playing right back.
That's what's called preparation for a wet Tuesday night in Stoke.
Welcome, Zeus. How are you? How's the weather in Ontario?
Not bad. It's pretty good. Nice 20 degrees, 20-ish, 21, 22. So, yeah.
I think it's about 24, 25 here today.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Yeah. It might drop down a couple of degrees for the next week. I'm not sure. Yeah. So we just started on this Chelsea versus Spurs tomorrow at 10:45 in the UK. So that's about 6 o'clock in the morning for you, isn't it? Something like that, or even earlier, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I think about 5:45, maybe.
You getting up for the game?
No, not at all. I haven't really. I don't know, man. Friendlies. There was. I can't remember when it was, but there was a time where we were like crushing everybody in friendlies in the preseason, and then the season started, and we started like horribly. I think it wasn't under Poch. Maybe it was like with who came after Poch? Maybe Sherwood or someone like that.
No, it was Ramos.
Ramos, yes, okay, yes, Ramos, and we couldn't win
because we beat Roma 5-0 at White Hart Lane.
Yeah, it was champagne football all along, and
and then it was 2 points from 8 games.
Yeah, and he got
come on in, Harry. Yeah.
How did that team struggle? By the way, you had Defoe. Was Berbatov still at Spurs back then, or did he go to United that summer?
No, he had just come. I know Ramos he played under him, and I think he won the trophy.
The Cup. So the Carling Cup. So Berbatov, Defoe, was Defoe there, or was it with Berbatov, Modric,
Bentley,
Dawson, Ledley King. How the hell did that team not do well? I mean
so
Woodgate.
Jonathan Woodgate.
I think Ledley King, was around that time as well, but injured. But I think one of the things that he did that came out was that he used to have very strict dietary restrictions. Yeah. So
he famously banned the ketchup in the
things like that. So I think players were actually tired and trying to play. So I think that was a part of it. Extreme training methods.
Huddleston was seen coming out of McDonald's on the way back from training.
There's a meme somewhere of Harry Redknapp with like there's like burger vans that like show up for like 5-a-side games or whatever, and it's like Harry Redknapp like pulling one of them along with a big bottle of ketchup and going, "You boys look hungry."
So on to Chelsea Spurs tomorrow. I mean, like we've all like sort of moaned about the fact, why are we playing Chelsea? Why do you, when you've got history with the team, the Battle of the Bridge, whatever, and you never know, it could spill over and players could get injured.
I know it's preseason. I don't think they're thinking about that. I mean, I'm actually a bit for it. I think Auckland FC and I forget who we played first. They're not. They're not up there in any. They don't give us a good metric of where we truly stand, and I have to say I haven't been like really pleased, based on the results. So this to me is a proper game, and we really get to see what De Zerbi's really been trying to do. So I'm not mad at it at all. I welcome it, to be honest. It's a better measure.
Okay, well we will get some. Obviously, we will have some senior players return. Let's move on to the predicted lineup then. I've done one. I'll show you mine later, right? But Sean, who's going to play in goal? And on that, actually, I think we had a 20 mil offer for Austin, and we turned it down. He is homegrown though, and he was the England under 21 goalkeeper. I think he's got to be 27 now. I would have thought. Who's going in goal for this one? Are we bringing Kinski back for this game, or does it matter?
Well, he certainly seems to be featured in training, so it would make sense to have Kinski in goal. But it's. I mean, if it was me, I would play him. Yeah, I would definitely. Well, for the first half, and then put Dubravka in for the second half. But.
Yeah, James, who are you going for in goal?
It's a pre-season game. I don't know, Kinski. I really want to humble Chelsea. If Enzo Fernandez starts, which
he's not there. He's not there.
Right. Can I put out a worldwide request? If anyone sees him, put in a crunching tackle. We'll have a whip round to pay your legal fees. Jokes aside, not really joking. Joking for legal relations. I mean, Kinski, I think Kinski does need some actual minutes. I mean, obviously he was superb in 7 games under Serbi towards the end of the season. And actually, even under Igor Shuda, obviously he had that mistake at Atletico, which, I mean, Oblak made an error equal to his, so I don't think it's really Kinski's fault. I think it was just a pitch error. I don't know, maybe it's a youth keeper. But to me, I think it's important to try and win these games just for the mentality of the players to go, look, we bad Chelsea. We can beat anyone. So,
welcome, Steve. I know you just got in from work.
Hey, good afternoon, guys.
There's the temperature out in Michigan.
It's actually cool today, man. We are in the mid 60s this afternoon. We have some overcast skies over Lake Michigan. A cool 66 degrees. All right. No, it's actually far cooler than I expected to be in late July. So it is what it is.
Are you up for the game tomorrow?
Great question. Potentially. Potentially, it all depends on what time the match starts.
Yeah. It's 10:45 the match starts, so you're 5 hours behind. So you're talking 4 to 6 in the morning. It's probably not too different for the time you get up to go to work anyway. So
that is a very good point. So I will give you a definite maybe. That's about as good as I'm going to do.
That's good. We like definite maybes because we know where we are. Right. Yeah. So we're just going to do the predicted lineup. We're going to talk about transfers, bombers, and all that stuff, but we're just going through the goalkeeping situation. You've got a choice of 3: Dubravka, Kinski, or Austin. Austin did well with a few saves actually in the game before last. Who are you going for in goal?
Tomorrow, I'm giving Kinski as much time as is possibly needed for him to get ready for the season. He is, allegedly the clear-cut number 1, and so he needs as many minutes as possible to get his form ready before we start the regular season. So, without a shadow of doubt, it's Big Tony Kinski.
Okay, I'll stay with you. Who's playing at left back? You Doggy, Robertson, or?
That's a very good question. I'm leaning towards Destiny Udoji again for the same reasons as Antonin Kinski. Now, granted, there is a caveat to this as well too, because there is such a thing as load management in the preseason. The one thing you want to do is make sure everybody's healthy come the first game of the season, right? So from that standpoint, maybe it could be a 60-40, 50-50 proposition between Udoji and Robertson.
Zeus, who are you going for at left back?
I'm trying to look at the lineup from the last game, and you can't read. I don't know. You can't read much into what he's been doing, but I guess because it's Chelsea, you might say he's gonna play more of the senior players. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I guess if he was going for maybe Udoji. Like, I'll say him. I'm just guessing. Like, I can't. I don't have any rationale, but I would guess Udoji if he wants to start getting a feel of the first team.
I'll give you my team at the end and reasons why. Sean?
I think I would tend towards Robertson
Mm-hmm.
and Udogie to come on at some point in the second half.
Okay. Right. So now we look at the centre back positions. I'll start with you, Sean. Give me 2 centre backs. I mean, you've got Van Heck, you've got VDV, you've got Danso, you've got Ben Davies. I mean,
I think for starter, I think it seems to me that Van Hecker is due a start, and possibly Danso. I don't think VDV. I think they're taking their time with VDV because when in open training today on the video, he was just cycling on the side of the pitch, which seems to suggest that they're load management is being taken account of, and he's not going to get to play. And then obviously we've got Hardy and others to come in afterwards. Hopefully Takai can get that horrible error out of his system from the game.
That was unlucky. That was unlucky.
It was, yeah, it was. But
I mean, if Ford had played that, they'd been raving about the pass for the goal. Like,
yeah.
Steve, go on, carry on if you got anything to say. Steve, centre backs.
Is Marco Senesi in camp yet?
No, they'll be back.
Yeah, okay.
No, he's in Enfield.
Yeah, they'll.
Okay. Yeah. Let me get Kevin Danso and Van Hecke.
Okay. Zeus, who's your centre backs?
It looks like Ben Davies has been getting a lot of time. So
yeah, I was going to mention Big Ben.
I think he's going to play.
Daddy Davis.
Yeah. So Ben Davies and maybe Senesi. No, not Senesi. Definitely not Senesi.
You got Danso, you got Van Heck, but then you're playing 2 left footers.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe Danso. Like Van Hecke, I think maybe just give him a bit of time from the World Cup. So maybe Danso.
He'd probably get a half, depending by especially if we're 5-0 up at half time. You know what I mean? So,
of course, like we always do at Stamford Bridge.
James is probably going to get some for refreshment. This is a tricky one, guys. Stay with you, Zeus. Right back. Who's playing with right back? We've got no Spence. We've got no Porro.
We're still looking here.
Kieran Martin has stood in there.
Yeah, and he started.
I mean, he could push Danso out there, but Hardy, I think, can play at right back as well. I think he's done that in the under 21s.
I'm going to go with what he did last game at the Kieran Martin fellow. I don't know much about him. I don't know anything about him.
Yeah,
but I would reckon him since none of the other guys are available.
And I would expect Chelsea to attack us down that side of his. Sean, who are you picking as James? Who are you picking as your centre backs?
Van Heck and Senesi?
Yeah, okay. Senesi's not there.
Oh, okay. I don't know. A youth player.
Danso, Davies, Van Hecker, Hardy.
Oh, yeah. I'll go Davies, the Welsh Maldini. I don't know. It's pre-season.
And who's on the right? Are you going to play a left foot or are you going to put Danso in there?
Is Van Heck there or not?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go Van Heck.
Okay. While you're there, then right back, which is a tough position to call against Chelsea if we're going to put senior players in.
Who do we have at right back?
Kieran Martin we had before. He's got good touch.
Let's go with him again.
Okay. Sean?
I quite like the look of that tall, lanky guy, Ty Hall, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he fitted in at right back as well. So, I think they're going to play one. They play one of the kids because I don't think they're going to put Gray there. I think Gray might be needed in midfield. So,
okay. Give me your 2 holding midfielders. Fernandez has still got. He's not going to be risky. He's got
no. It'd be Tonali and Gray for me.
Yeah. Right. Okay, Steve, your holding midfielders.
Is Rodrigo Betancourt in camp?
No, he's an Enfield as well. They're back, but they're not back. They're back in London,
Yeah, because
Okay,
they've been
I
on
got
holiday
you.
with their World Cup squads.
Yeah, you're right.
Weeks.
Yeah, I'll probably go Tonali and Gray.
Okay. Zeus, holding midfielders.
I mean, Gray for sure.
Uh-huh.
Doesn't look like Tonali played the last game. Or did he?
He came on second half, I think.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
I don't see him listed on here. Okay, I guess him. I guess them too.
Okay. You the same, James? Midfield holding pair?
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Sean?
Yeah.
Okay. Stay with you, Sean. Who's going to be the number 10? Is Madison going to get a game? Although I think, will they risk him? He's been very careful.
No, they've already flagged that up that he's not playing. So
So is Gallagher going to play
I
there?
think it'll be Gallagher again. Yeah.
Yeah, unless it's Mikey Moore or Williams Barnett, they can play there. Okay. Steve, front three.
Good question. Who played off the left in the last game? Who started?
Tell.
Okay. Ooh, that's a good question. Let's see. Who played on the right? Who started last game on the right?
Well, you got Solomon's played on the right, but
Okay.
then like Richie played in the middle.
All right, give me let's go damn. All right, let me go let's go yeah, a big part of me thinks that Manor Solomon's probably going to play again. So let me go Mikey Moore off the left, Solomon off the right, and Solanke up top.
Okay. Zeus, front three.
I think Tell's gonna start on the left.
Okay.
I feel Richarlison is gonna get some time.
Yeah, he'll probably get a half. Yeah.
I think he starts. I think he would prefer to start strong this game. And on the right, maybe not Mikey Moore. Who started on the right last time?
Manor Solomon.
Solomon.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that seems about right. I don't know. Actually, I don't know if I can ask. What is the deal with Solomon and this club?
He's going.
Yeah, from all accounts, there's a deal to be done with West Ham.
There's a deal to be done. But what is the issue with Manor Solomon?
I don't think De Zerbi fancies him. Remember, he had him at Shakhtar Donetsk.
Yeah.
And he did keep Mudryk out of that side at one time, but I think that might have been mainly for injury. And Mudryk took a while to settle at Chelsea.
Okay, what I've seen I feel like I don't want to get too political, but there is something political that why a lot of the fan base doesn't fancy him. Is that
There
right?
was a bit of political because he's Jewish when he was at Leeds.
What's wrong with that?
Well, it's mentioning the Jewish. So you get all that, don't you? You get. I'm above all that bullshit, right? But it goes on.
In
Leeds
regards
fans
to,
were chanting stuff, and the press took it up. Basically,
in regards to Solomon, I think it was more so the fact that he made very pro-Israeli posts, which obviously certain people took as advocating for the actions of Netanyahu, which,
okay, but we're not going to go there.
Yeah, different. But
Okay, so I maybe I had kind of seen that, but I didn't think that was. I didn't think the UK was, that politically,
It's like the rest of the world.
Yes,
The rest of the world is caused division.
Yeah,
So it caused division in the squads because Pape Sarr and Jed Spence are both Muslim.
Okay,
and I believe even Sonny was upset with the posting. So if you upset the captain, Sonny was upset with the posting.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Okay, now I get it. All right, cool.
You picked your three. James, three. Front three.
Is Moore there? I'd go with Moore.
Yeah.
If he's there, I'd give him a game. Tell and Which striker do we have there? Is Richie
Charlotte.
there? Yeah,
Got
Richie.
Charlotte.
I give Scarlett a go. And then bring Richie
I mean,
on half
Moore
time.
can play on the right, but then your front three, you having Tell on the right.
I'm having Tell on the left, Moore on the right, and then Richie up front, or Scarlett. I'd give Scarlett a go up front.
Sean, your front three.
I would like to see more on the right, Tell on the left, and Solanke's got to show up. He's got to have some minutes because he's just not showed up.
Right, you can all laugh. When I do predicted lineups, I rarely get them wrong. I have been right once, I think, last season with the lineup. But with so many injuries, that shouldn't have been that hard, should it? Right. But this is my lineup, right? I've gone Kingsky in goal, Robertson on the left because I liked his crossing in the last game, and Van Hecker and Danso. Right, you got a right foot and a left foot. Kieran Martin, want to see more of this kid. I don't know if he's going to make it. I don't know if any of the academy kids will make it, but De Zerbi does give them a chance. I've gone Graham Tonali, which most of you have gone, and Gallagher, which gives us a real solid midfield against Chelsea. And up front, I've gone Williams Barnett on the left, Solanke in the middle, and Toe on the right. And someone in the WhatsApp group quick, well, you've left Danso, you've left VDV out. Yeah, deliberately, right? I'm just a bit more precaution with VDV during pre-season. So it could be Mikey Graham, Mikey Moore could play on the left. I mean, I don't know what he's going to be. I think that midfield, though, will pick itself. The back four and the goalkeeper, there could be one change or two changes there. You don't know with De Zerbi. But we know the whole team's going to change second half anyway. So, yeah. And I haven't got a clue who Chelsea play. Perhaps maybe they'll play the pensioners tomorrow, Welbeck and the Chelsea pensioners, Welbeck.
Because obviously Chelsea got hit with a two-window ban. Yeah,
they were given a
it was suspended though. They suspended the two-window ban,
yeah,
so
they appealed it.
Yeah, there's no ban.
So basically, they've been proven to cheat, and basically they got off light. They got another 10 mil fine because this is from the FA, not from the Premier League, who've bottled this. Rick Parry and his cohort should be sacked for all this.
By the way, how tough and stringent is the FA? They literally just say, nothing to see here.
Did Gianni Infantino give him a ring and recommend sentencing?
It sticks in my craw. I mean, I've got no love for Chelsea. Obviously, I'm a Spurs fan. But I go back to when we got done for giving players bonuses. We did put it on the tax form, so it was declared it wasn't criminal. And we got a 12-point deduction. We were kicked out of the FA Cup. We got fined 750 grand. Right? We appealed. Sugar appealed. We got the points back. We were reinstated in the FA Cup, but we got a £1.5 million fine. And back then, that was a lot of money when we were suffering nearly financial. We were virtually on a book, if you remember, going bankrupt, right? And then Arsenal, right, through Ruud Hua and the Norwegian player they bought, Jensen, right? He ended up getting a massive bung. Turns out Graham had an account in the Channel Islands. That's not suspicious, is it, right? With a lot of more unclaimed money than that. So obviously it smelt that other dodgy deals was done before. He then got Arsenal. Nothing happened. What happened is he got sacked eventually, George Graham, right? This is the history behind it. And at the same time, nothing was done to Arsenal Football Club when you consider our Spurs were punished for something minor, right? Playing players bonuses, cash, basically, what Spurs got done. But it was declared on the books. And it just so happened at the time that Arsenal chairman David Dean was also vice chairman of the FA. And Arsenal were a close association with the FA. Similarly, when West Ham got done, they got done for playing Javier Mascherano and Carlos Tevez.
Yeah.
The ringers, they finished in the bottom of the Premier League virtually. Sheffield United went down. West Ham just they had to pay Sheffield United £1 million back then or something as compensation. And nothing happened to them. If any of those two incidents had been Spurs, they'd have absolutely effing hammered us. Right? And now you've got Chelsea have been accused of cheating. I mean, and what it proves is, look, you just look at what's gone on, which they've covered up here, right? When Roman Abramovich was there, he applied before any of this come out. He applied for British citizenship, and he was refused. Right? So why was he refused? We've got agencies like they've got in America, lots of federal agencies and secret service agencies that keep an eye on certain individuals. They only move on them when it proves appropriate for them to do so. And there was no move made on Abramovich. He was obviously a person non grata in this country. But when you pump millions of pounds into the economy and create jobs, even if you either end up with a knighthood or in the House of Lords, right? So he was saved. So when it comes, and then you walk away from £2 billion without a fight. That doesn't happen unless the country, unless their security forces, you can come in a minute, have got a lot on you. So he's walked away with Chelsea with nothing, about 2 billion. No businessman does that without a court fight. But they had him banker rights on his connections with Putin. So without getting involved in politics, right? You read into that what you want. Go on, James. You want to say something?
I think the reason they weren't harshly punished was because the new owners have been cooperative in the investigation. And obviously, the investigation was prior to their ownership of Chelsea. I think that's why it was. Secondly, it's completely ridiculous that Roman Abramovich isn't allowed to own Chelsea. For reference, my grandfather, so my mother's father, Ian, great guy. He was a Chelsea fan in the 60s and 70s, so he's not a glory hunter. He just lived near Chelsea. Probably could have supported Chelsea as opposed to Spurs, and I'd be a lot happier. But, I chose to support Spurs because that was my dad's team. Cheers, John. Thank you for all the mental illness.
But coming on this, right, is the fact that it would have been known. I mean, all Chelsea had to do before Abramovich bought the club out. Hold on, this is where the league doesn't do proper due diligence on owners. All Chelsea had to do was approach government officials and say, look, Abramovich wants to buy this club. We're not sure the FA are up to this, right? Which they're not, or the Premier League, which they're not. They bottle everything, right? So what's the background? How much do you know? You don't have to give us information, but how much do you know? Like if you're asking the CPO, the Crime Prevention Organiser, they'll say, yes, we know of him, or we don't. Yeah, well, we don't think he's a really desirable character. That's all I have to say. Sean, you want it to come in?
Well, if he was an undesirable character, he hung around Chelsea for a long time.
Yeah, money.
Yeah. But you guys know how this goes, right? Because on paper, James, you're 100% right. It's like, Blueco and Todd Bowley, they were super cooperative. They turned over their books. They're great guys. And it's like, no. It's Chelsea.
Exactly.
It's Chelsea. It's Chelsea. They cheated. But here's the thing. It's Chelsea. Right? They dragged, you knew this was going to happen. They've allowed Manchester City to drag their feet for how many years now on their charges, and it actually almost makes you feel sorry for Newcastle and Villa and Everton and Forest when they actually get slammed with violations that are not to the level of what we're seeing here. And by the way, under Blueco, they continue to circumnavigate PSR every single year with their sister club Strasbourg. They'll loan them out and then buy them back, and it's just a way for them to completely circumnavigate the PSR rules. And it's like, nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. If you are a club of stature, the rules do not apply to you. But if you're not a club of stature, good luck. Good luck.
Chelsea fans can never argue with Spurs fans again, because all the Spurs fans got to say, you cheated to win the trophies. And the same's going to happen to Man City. You cheated going back to Mancini and Pellegrini. It goes back to there with their 115 charges.
I just want to set my opinion on the record clear. I personally believe every football club in the UK should be fan-owned. I think every club should be fan-owned and run by the fans. I don't agree with Saudis or Qataris or any Gulf state billionaires, trillionaires. I mean, we all know they're trillionaires.
Right. Well, without going into politics, we know they sports wash every sport going.
American head fudges, James. You can add American head fudges to that.
Yeah, I agree. Spurs should be fan-owned, and then we wouldn't have ridiculous season ticket prices, and I'd be able to afford a season ticket.
Okay, let's move on, right? Let's move on to more interesting things, right? Okay. Latest transfer news. Well, we still got till the 1st of September, but the season opens on the 22nd of August. So obviously the transfer window is going to go for 9 days into the new season. But at the moment, how many days we got? It's the 31st. So we've actually got 31 days of the transfer window left, to get some done. Now, this has caused a lot of excitement, Steve. Deserby's mystery bomber. And now they're trying to interpret his word. Oh, bomber doesn't mean, well, I don't even know what bomber means anyway. I'm old school and I don't care what it means. I've got an idea.
I thought it was Italian for dropping a bomb. I just assumed that's what it is, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know Italian, but apparently De Zerbi thinks that bomba is different in Italian than it is in what, Spanish, or is the word origin Italian in nature? I don't know.
Well, I've made a list of players as well. I'll bring them up in a minute. And so, but what we know for certain, whether De Zerbi's over-exaggerating, is that if we bring 2 or 3 in, which is mentioned, it's 2 or 3, we know they're going to be good players because he's not going to bring crap into this club. So whether they're actually what some fans will call a bomber elite player, others might not if they don't like that particular player. So what I've done, I've given a list of 3 strikers, a midfielder, some wingers that you might consider elite, and then if we get a third signing, some other wingers. So see if you like this list or not. If I've missed any out, please come at me. You know what I mean? Right, so we talk about the strikers first, right, guys? Torres, Vlahovic, and Endrick. Just those 3. We talk about those. Zeus. Are these bombers to you?
I think the Torres one is. Yeah, I think that probably has the most weight. Someone World Cup winner to kind of bring him here so quickly. I think that would be a bomba. The rest, like Vlahovic, is kind of past it now.
Yeah,
Morgan Gibbs,
he's
kind of been there, done that. Yeah, so
just the strikers,
Oh, sorry, yeah, my bad.
And
so Torres, yes.
On the Torres, right? Just in case I'll pick up on these things. De Zerbi said, "I'm a shark, and the sharks get what they want, and I'll get what I want, and all that." Well, I don't know if that was a Freudian slip, because as you just alluded to, there, Zeus, Torres is known as the shark, right? But read into that what you want. So I don't know if it was a Freudian slip or not. Sean, these 3 strikers, Torres, Vlahovic, and Endrick.
I know a little bit about Endrick because he plays for Real Madrid, but other than, Vlahovic was excellent at Fiorentina, and he made the big move to Juve, and he hasn't really torn up any trees.
His numbers are still
and he's been replaced by Kolo Muani at Juventus. So
Torres, we looked at Torres when he was about 19 and 20. We looked at him at a very young age. So, and sometimes Spain's they didn't play. Sort of Barcelona didn't play with a number 9. You know what I mean? So he didn't get game time. But
they're all much the same. As I say, we're in a dearth of strikers at the moment. I remember when our club used to carry 4 strikers at one point. Yeah. You know what I mean? But obviously in the days of 4-4-2. But if any of them turn up, we'll just give them the time of day, as we do. They put our shirt on and we back them. Until we wait 12 months down the line and say, yes, that was a good idea, or no, that was not a good idea. Simple as that.
So before I come to Steve, we've been going for over an hour. There's over 100 of you listening to us on various platforms. You can see the red subscribe button in the bottom right-hand corner. We can't see it because we're live. Please hit that subscribe button. Give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you like our content, yeah? You can find us on XCOM. You can find us on Facebook. And we've got a WhatsApp channel as well. The links are all on the ticker below that's spinning around. You can see all the links there to Spurs Diehards. Steve, you can find him on Stateside Footy. Right. So get over to Steve. Steve's always doing content. I mean, he's as obsessed with doing content as I am, right? So
I'm
still
obsessed.
So, Steve, let's get
Yeah.
back to this list which I made.
Well, all right. I'm 100% out on the idea of Vlahovic. Number one, I think the juice isn't necessarily worth the squeeze financially. You know, if you're going to be in that 250K pound, 300K pound a week, you can do a lot better than Vlahovic. And I also question about whether or not he can actually play in the Premier League. There's a vast difference between scoring goals with Juventus and then coming to the Premier League and facing teams that you typically haven't faced, and then trying to get used to the physicality and speed. You know, everybody thought that Florian Wirtz was going to be, you know, an absolute wonder for Liverpool, and he struggled throughout the entire course of the season because he couldn't figure out a way to adapt. And and here's the thing, I've never even been I think he's your prototypical Serie A striker, and I think there's levels to this. Endrick is the one that is kind of curious to me because last year he went on loan to Olympique Lyonnais in France, and I think he had 14 starts, and he actually scored 5 goals, 7 assists, and he actually looked good playing for Olympique Lyon. But that being said, it's like, you know, you wonder whether or not he can also adapt to the Premier League. But that being said, I mean, yeah, he did have time in La Liga, so that is something. But you know, the real guy on this list that is out and out target 9 that you really would cover is Fernan Torres. But you know, again, you know, I struggle with guys that, you know, don't necessarily get consistent time with their clubs. Now, maybe you come to a situation where you have game time and you have an opportunity to kind of build your way into that role. Then I think of the 3, it's probably going to be Fernan Torres. Endrick is kind of spicy to me, though. That kind of, you know, like I'm kind of wondering whether Endrick would be a good fit.
On the Torres things, and if there's more links over the weekend, there's something else you throw into the mix. Barcelona are in the UK at the moment. They're in the UK. And usually when teams travel, some business can get done. So whether we can read anything into that or not, so you've got the Shark, you've got Barcelona in the UK. So I would take Torres. I would take any of those 3, actually.
Of course, we have someone that they might be interested in.
Who's that? Berba?
A centre-back.
Romero.
Oh, no, Romero. Oh.
The deal's very close with Inter Milan now.
Is it? I saw something about wages, personal terms. Yeah,
even that's been agreed now, apparently. On that, I mean, James, when you look at Vlahovic here, right? I mean, the others have spoken about those 3. Like, we've got enough on that. I mean, all right, he's on a free. Reckons he'd take 150, 160K a week. I mean, a guy like him, he's got to lower his expectations anyway, because the same as Rashford's got to do it when we come on to him, right? Because no one's going to pay 30, 40 mil for Rashford and pay him 325 grand in wages. Barcelona don't want him. Real Madrid don't want him. Atletico Madrid don't want him. PSG don't want him. Bayern Munich don't want him, right? Man United would like to get rid of him. Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal don't want him. We would probably take him because he would be an upgrade. But he's got to lower his expectations because he might think he's Billy Big Balls, which puts me off getting him anyway. But he's not getting what he wants.
I mean, you just made me really hope we sign Rashford, actually.
Okay.
I like Rashford. Look, I think Vlahovic is an upgrade on Solanke. I think Solanke's pretty mediocre. Of the 2, I'd rather keep Richarlison because, do you know what? Richie's mediocre, but he's one of us. You start that man against Liverpool, he will score a goal. Like, he might foul someone, but he will. Stop that guy against Liverpool. He's going to score. He will always score against Liverpool. That man is fueled by hate. And honestly, like, you read about who Richie is as a person. He's a genuinely very good person. Donates a lot of money to charity. He does a lot of very good charitable endeavors. He's a good person. And you can tell he's always trying his best. Unfortunately, his best isn't very good, but he's trying. And I'd much rather have someone like that as a role model to the younger players. Like, give 100% every single day.
Richie's got a trampoline touch, though, isn't he?
Yeah. You know, look, he's cracked.
Everything bounces off him, right?
he's crap, but he tries 100% every single game. And actually, he's good in the box. He's good at heading. He does score goals, and actually, he scored 11 goals last season. He does find goals in big moments. Scored against Liverpool at Anfield to get a point. Scored against Villa, which ultimately got us 3 points. Arguably, Richie kept us up last season.
Paulinho kept us up. Yeah.
Paulinho too, but Richie does score big goals in big moments.
Yeah.
And he's got a lot of heart. He obviously loves being here. He refused to go to Saudi for moral reasons, which honestly, give him a statue. I'll respect the hell out of that. Rashford, I rate him. Vlahovic, yeah, I think Vlahovic is a brilliant player in the right system. I just don't think Solanke is going to do it for Spurs. If Romero's outscoring you, that's a worrying sign. Fernand Torres, brilliant player. I'd love him. But you look at our right wing, okay, maybe Kulu's going to be more of an attacking midfielder, contesting that with Maddison. Maybe Madison shifts out to the left or the right or something. But, where's the space for that? Especially in a year where we don't have Europe. And Endrick, I don't know if any of you guys saw the memes on Twitter, and it was all the Brazilians, and it was like Ancelotti start Endrick or do this, and it was like a funny meme. I thought they were quite amusing. I don't know, like I take Vlahovic. Okay, just give him 150k a week, and sell Solanke for 30 million.
Well, because he's a free agent, his agent's probably going to want, and you're not paying a transfer fee. They will take that into consideration, and the agent will probably want a 10 mil bung. Vlahovic, I'll take 150, 160k a week, but I want 20, 30 mil to sign on.
So have another concert at a stadium.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Paul, your take on the forward line, and then I'll come to you for the wingers that I've named, which is Rashford, Leao, Yildiz, Nico Williams. He's got an 8.5 million now release clause. Leave the left field wingers. We'll come out to them afterwards. I would rate these as bomber signings, even Rashford, although I'm a bit with Rashford at the moment. Just his attitude, so many clubs he's been with. So your take on the strikers and these wingers? Sean?
I think I've already chipped in. I said Hendrick is the only one that I really noticed before.
Well, the wingers then. Go on to the wingers, because I think they would be bomber signings, for the fans they would.
Yeah, I think Gibbs White is probably
He's the only
choice
we would take. We've got 9 midfielders.
Yeah,
right? I would take him. I would take Gibbs White. If the bomber was going to be Gibbs White, I would take him. Right,
but then that sort of leads to Bergvall going to Forest in the opposite direction, maybe.
Sarr going as well.
Yeah,
Brentford. We've had interest in Sarr, by the way. There's
I don't really like to. The only 2 players I really like on there are Nico Williams at Bilbao, because Bilbao's my favourite team in Spain, and Hendrick.
He's got a long contract, Nico Williams, but it is a release clause. If the player wanted to come, it depends on how ambitious he is at Bilbao. But if the player wanted to come and prove himself in the Premier League, he didn't. You could tell at Spain, even though they won it, he was getting back to his fitness when you see him, because he wasn't like the lethal player that we've seen in the past from him.
I think the only club he would leave Bilbao for are Barcelona.
Yeah,
I don't think he'd come to the Premier League. I think he's just one of those.
And the thing with them like Torres, though, Sean, they find money. They do, Real Madrid, and they got players on such high wages that they've usually got to sell now. They've got to sell before they buy. So I could see Torres at Spurs. I could see Vlahovic there as well. I'm not so sure about Hendrick, but that's my take on the strikers. Steve, Leao, he might be going to Turkey for big wages, but Yildiz at Juventus, they're not like flash for cash. Nico Williams, definitely,
Yeah, for sure. I certainly don't think Morgan Gibbs White is going to get sold. I think we have to remember. I think the last summer he signed that extension that made him the highest paid player there at Forest. And they have a new head coach in Oliver Glasner. I don't think it necessarily makes sense to sell out their best player right from underneath their new head coach on the eve of his first season. So I don't think Morgan Gibbs White is going anywhere. The interesting thing, and I've been vocal about Rafa Leao, that would be an absolute disaster. Same thing with Savinho. The only two names that I like are Keenan Yildiz and Nico Williams. But, Yildiz is actually a natural 10 that has been playing out on the left, but he is a natural gifted 10. And that would be somebody that if you do bring him in, maybe for a year or two, maybe you decide maybe to play him out there. But, this is a kid that's going to compete with Xavi Simons for that 10 position once James Madison is out the door. And so maybe that might be appealing because he can play a couple positions. But really the guy is Nico Williams. And I've been watching Nico Williams for a couple of years now, and this dude is absolutely electric.
Yeah.
And, obviously he's a full Spain international, and he is everything that you really want on the left-hand side. He does everything absolutely so superb. But I will say this, if everything falls through and Marcus Rashford is somebody that you actually have to pivot to in order to at least get somebody through the door, it wouldn't be a bad option. Marcus Rashford still has some football left in him.
Yeah, I think Rashford's very gettable in his current situation. He's not actually got a lot of options.
I think he's a good player, Rashford.
He is a good player. I just question his attitude in all the clubs he's been with.
Look, I think fundamentally, obviously, I disagree with that on his attitude. He's obviously a good bloke. Obviously, he fell out at United because of
the multiple coaches that they've had.
The revolving door. Do you know what I mean? Of managers. He did well under Mourinho. I don't think it's ridiculous to think he'd do well under De Zerbi. He's brilliant off the left-hand side as an inside forward. He's done well at Barcelona. I think he'd do brilliant. 30 million. Just get it. We need a left winger.
They don't want him. This is the thing. This is the thing as well to Villa and all that. I mean, you don't leave Man United. You leave Man United for Barcelona, but you don't leave Man United for Villa.
I mean, United aren't the football club they were 10 years ago, 20 years ago. I mean, they're not. I mean, the next Euros, 28 Euros, Old Trafford aren't hosting a game because their stadium isn't remotely up to scratch. They're not a big football club anymore. Nowhere near the institution they once were. I mean, since Ferguson left, they're nothing. And, I mean, fundamentally, I'll ask you a question. Name one person Ferguson coached as a manager who is world-class now as a manager. There isn't one. He has no legacy.
Ferguson?
Okay. Name one person who Ferguson coached. Name one player.
I'll tell you. His name is Gary Neville. I'm just playing.
Name one person Ferguson coached who is now a world-class manager.
Wait. What are you implying, though? Are you saying that because he did? Wait, what do you mean by that? Because he didn't coach any players who turned out to be world class? He's crap. I don't.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not diminishing his achievements. I'm merely saying that his legacy in football is pretty short compared to someone.
No. He's one of the greatest.
Oh, come on.
Okay. Compare him to Arenas Mikkels, who. Okay, hands up. Who of you know who Arenas Mikkels was?
I don't even know
the legendary Dutch manager of Ajax.
Okay. Zeus doesn't know who Arenas Mikkels was.
He took over Ajax from Spurs ex-Spurs manager, Vic Buckingham, who won the Eredivisie with Ajax, left, came back in 1964. Vic Buckingham gave a debut to a scrawny young kid you may have heard of called Johan Cruyff, and then Rinus Mikkels took over for him. And then where did Vic Buckingham end up? The ex-Spurs player and manager of Pegasus and Bradford Park Avenue and West Brom, where he won the FA Cup, nearly won the double. Where did he end up? In 1970, believe this is what Spurs history has done to European football, how it changed it, and how he was a pioneer of total football, right? Where is he in 1970, Vic Buckingham? He's manager
Barcelona.
AFC. And what did he win? He wins the Cup of the Generalissimo with Barcelona, and narrowly misses out on the double on the head-to-head matches with Valencia.
You look
know,
at
and who took over from at Barcelona? Rinus Michels.
Venus.
That's right.
Yeah.
Venus Michels. I mean, my point more so was none of Ferguson's disciples were ever managers. Michels, he had Cruyff. Cruyff was the man who made Pep. And Pep made Arteta. I mean, there's a clear football lineage in philosophy.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. Like,
yeah,
but that doesn't matter.
What are you saying?
That doesn't
Like,
matter.
United
That doesn't matter because well, because
you're a great player, going to be a great manager.
So because any of his ex-players didn't go on to coaching, that's not a knock on Ferguson.
Yeah,
or even his assistants, his longtime assistants that he had all the way through. They didn't. It's like it doesn't matter. The dude. How many Premier Leagues and how many FA Cups? How many European Cups?
It's crazy.
And then of course he won the treble in '99. And it's like, listen, man, it's like you can. The problem with Manchester United is that was impossible. Those standards were impossible to live up to.
I mean, my point more so was he didn't have a footballing philosophy that could be adapted to the modern game. I mean, he wouldn't win shit in the modern game, if we're being honest. Let's be honest.
But if you want to say that, you can say the same thing about Arsene Wenger as well too. You know what I mean? You can easily say the same shit about him, but nobody's saying that about him. Yeah, nobody's saying about either of those guys.
I'll say about that cheesy eating surrender monkey. But I mean, look. I mean, my point is that you look at Rinus Michels and Johan Cruyff. Cruyff is apparently the Dutch pronunciation of Cruyff. Cruyff. It sounds weird in my mouth, but there you go. No one Ferguson taught ever went on to become a great manager. Cruyff and Michels. Michels had Cruyff. Cruyff had Pep.
Wait, Steve Bruce he did okay as a manager, right?
Michael Carrick.
And he won Champions Leagues, did he?
Well, maybe not Champions Leagues, but I don't think you can make that connection.
Yeah, I think that's terrible.
The most successful player in terms of so Ferguson managed Roy Keane, who, in my opinion, in management was the most successful player Ferguson ever managed, and he won. He got Sunderland promoted, kept them in the Premier League. He did a really good job. And do you know who Roy Keane credits his management to? Not Ferguson, Brian Clough.
Okay.
The greatest manager England ever had. My point more so is I don't think Ferguson's all that. If you look at his transfers, he just
say that outside of here, man.
Oh, he was
mate. Honestly,
his track record speaks for itself.
Brilliant.
Dude, he won a European trophy with Aberdeen. He won a European trophy with Aberdeen, and by the way, that was the last time another team outside of Rangers and Celtics won.
Okay. And Rinus Michels won.
He won the league title with kids. You had the two Neville brothers. You had Giggs and Beckham on the wings, and you had Nicky Butt and Paul Scholes in midfield. I left out Roy Keane because they brought him in, and they blended it with other good players. But you had 6 young kids in that team. You couldn't do that today. I mean,
and by the way, Manchester. By the way, Manchester. And I'll just say this, right? He didn't bring anybody great. Okay, cool. Because Manchester United would not be Manchester United if Ferguson didn't bring in King Eric Cantona in that 92.
We're not here to talk about Man United. I don't like it. Right? I've had a board meeting, and we're moving on.
Sorry, I do have to run. Apologies.
Let me answer this question.
Thanks for coming on, Zeus. Thanks for coming on, mate. You're always welcome every Friday, right? When you're available. Okay.
Sure. Bye.
Right.
Let me ask
Sean. I want to move on. De Zerbi said 2 or 3. This is why I've made this left fielder wingers here. If we get 3 or more signings, I don't know how much you know about these players. I've watched them all, right? But I mean, you know what I'm like with videos. So if we make a 3rd signing, do you expect that to be a winger? If we brought in Savinho and a striker, do you expect the 3rd signing to be a winger? And if it is a 3rd signing, would you take one of these?
I don't know. I can't really say. The only one I have any experience of is Gakpo, and
Noosa and Sheldrick play on the wings for Norway, as does Oscar Bob, by the way.
Yeah, Sheldrup has some baggage which I wouldn't welcome. So
Abdi
That's
Azulu,
right.
Azulu, he's at Real Betis. If you go and look at his videos, he's a winger that scores goals.
he's the Moroccan. I've just looked that up on the.
Yeah.
But I mean,
he looks tasty. We know Gakpo's proven, right? He's not elite, but he's not the sort of winger that takes on players so much. But he does seem to find himself in the right position to put the ball in the back of the net in a penalty area.
In the end, I'm going to judge De Zerbi. He knows what he needs for his system. If he pulls the trigger on one of those players, then good. Let's see how it works out. And as I said last week, let's wait 12 months. Let's not be going, well, we've had an 8 out of 10 transfer window.
I like the look of Seidel Mahler as well. 6'2". Steve, you like any of these? Go on, give me your comments.
I think I've been very vocal. Like my first option would be Cody Gakpo. Because I mean, you know exactly what you're going to get with Cody Gakpo, and you're absolutely right. He might not be one of those type of wingers that is going to, challenge go 1v1. But that being said, he's speedy. He always seems to find his footing in the box. He's always dangerous, can score goals, and you know what you're going to get from him. And that would be a solid addition, at least for the next couple of years as we challenge for top honors. But if for whatever reason Liverpool says no, then the answer is Saeed El Mala. And usually when it comes to kids that are in that 20 to 22 age range, maybe I would be like, yeah, okay, them plus somebody else. But this kid has gotten better every single season from his youth all the way to his first team debut. And he is an absolute beast. He's a goal scoring threat. He's pacey. He's physical. And, that's the thing. It's like if you're trying to replicate Sonny, when we got Sonny from the Bundesliga, this is like one of those signings where for a fact you're going to have somebody that's going to be here in 6 years because this dude is going to be an absolute star.
If you don't know any of these, you won't know these two. I'm going to bring them up because they've been gathering gravitas in Europe by a lot of European clubs. And fun enough, we're playing one of these teams. We've got Hoffenheim twice. This Fisnik Asllani's Kosovan, 23 years old, 6'2" striker. Appearances 10 goals, 7 assists. Rumoured interest.
Okay.
Is this why we have got 2 pre-season games against Hoffenheim? I'll put this in. Watch this kid. The next one I like a bit better than him, but do you know him at all, James?
I'm just going to raise a statistic for you. Did you know Timo Werner, a player we're all familiar with, scored 24 goals in the Bundesliga?
Yeah, he did before he got the big move but to PSG. But then he went to Chelsea. Playing on the wing through the middle. And
But we've all watched Timo Werner, and this kid scored half the goals Timo Werner scored. I'm skeptical of any Bundesliga attacker because of Timo Werner. Timo Werner, great looking guy.
I don't know. The number 9 for Bayern is pretty good.
Yeah.
If you want my honest opinion on our attacking situation, I'd wait a year and just go give Bayern the 100 million for Kane,
just saying,
or whatever it is, because ultimately you're not going to get better value for money. Just give Bayern 200 million.
I've queried the Chelsea game. I've queried the Hoffenheim and the Getafe games. Did look through their squads. Come up with this guy. I thought, we're going to get linked with them when we, the media will pick up this as soon as we get near to playing Hoffenheim, right? So, and we're playing them on the 15th and 16th, I think. So we've got one game, which I'm going to, the friendly at the stadium, and then you've got the next games at Hotspur Way. So it's a double header basically. So you may have some genuine interest in him, but maybe he might be a third choice player to bring in. That's why I brought it up in case it comes true. The other guy, this guy's rattled noises in Europe as well. Nicolo Trasoldi, Club Brugge, German under 21 old, right foot, 40 appearance, 19 goals and 5 assists. All right, we know it's the Belgium league, right? But this guy, when we talk about young players, remember that out of 20 Premier League teams, with 25-man squads, you're talking 500 players. But those 500 players came through their academies. They came through their academies, right, to be where they are now. And the thing with these strikers like these, it's a question of getting them in before they become unattainable. I mean, if you look at how much they want for Krupi, right? Well, Bournemouth got him in before anybody really knew he'd come from Lorient, right? So they've got him in. So you might in Belgium, Club Bruges, or in Hoffenheim, you might be able to pick up future strikers if they've got better stats than Lancashire, or they're rated better than him, because I was gutted he went. But you might be. This is why I only brought these up, because I think you're going to hear things about these. I really think you will hear things.
I mean,
I think the only way that you're going to bring in youth is if you bring in obviously first team players along with
you
them.
bring two in first.
But for me, it's like, are these youth players better than what we currently have? You know what I mean? Is this something that these youth players actually raise the bottom floor of this team, right? Because you're absolutely right. It's funny that you said that, because I know that you absolutely love Will Lancashire. But that being said, it's like, is Tresoldi of Club Bruges, is that infinitely better than the output of a guy like? Is he better than a guy like Will Lancashire? Because if that's the case, then yeah, you bring him in. Absolutely.
Well, we know
Is he further progressed? Is he farther along?
We know, Sean, that because there's a dearth of strikers out there, I would have thought a lot of clubs would be looking at any up-and-coming striker, really, in the hope that they can get him in or whatever. And we never know with foreign players. We don't know if they're going to be a success or not.
No, I mean, think of some of the players we've been linked with in the past. Jonathan David, Balogun again. Seems to have gone quiet on the Balogun front.
Gift Orban, remember him?
Gift Orban, yeah.
I mean,
well, PSG are going to end up with Balogun. Balogun's going to end up at PSG.
Oh, that fits certain themes. I mean, look, I rate Rashford. He's not a striker; he's a winger, in my opinion, at least. I don't think there's any actually world-class number 9s out there, bar Holland and Kane. So I don't think we should be spending silly money on them. In my opinion, honestly, best thing we can do is let's challenge this season, and then next season throw some money at Harry, because I know we have a buyback clause for Kane.
I don't think there's a buyback clause in there. There is
not anymore. And if he signs a new contract,
if he doesn't sign an extension with Bayern, he's in his last year.
Look.
So family will play a part.
Just let's be good this season, compete for the title, and then next year get a huge
It's my understanding that Kane's only got 1 year left, right? He hasn't signed the extension yet, right?
No.
So if he says no to the extension, he's a free next summer.
In January.
Right? Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I think in January, let's say we're challenging for the title. We say to Harry, look, come to Spurs, come back home. Break the goal scoring record in the Prem. If we finish top 6, we're challenging, and we'll give you 300 grand a week. Because in my opinion, Harry will be world class until he's maybe 37, 38. His pace never been a part of his game. It's always been his technical ability. He'll be good for another maybe 5 or 6 years. I mean, if Ronaldo can drag himself to play for Portugal at the age of 50, Portugal, then why can't Harry Kane lead us?
This is the domino effect, King. Gakpo is realistic if they get Barcola. He is, because then Liverpool want to recoup some money.
I just don't think Gakpo's that good. Maybe this is because the only players I've grown up seeing are like Bale, Kane, Messi, Ronaldo. But Gakpo's just looks really mediocre to me. They just look average.
Scores goals. But James, he scores goals. Apart from Decky and Maddison, who scored a lot of goals between themselves at times, we don't know. We're all hoping.
Richarlison scores goals.
We're all hoping that the system, that the philosophy that De Zerbi pushes onto the players means that we get more goals from players throughout the team, and hopefully the forward line.
I mean,
I've said it for 3 seasons. I don't care if we've got Ronaldo on one wing and Messi on the other. The wingers have got to score goals. Kudus doesn't score goals. I like him. Savino doesn't score goals. Technically superb.
I've
got faith in De Zerbi though. If he wants Savino, that's good.
Yeah, look.
Gakpo scores more goals than Kudus.
Yeah.
I mean,
By a
my
large
opinion
margin.
my opinion on Kudus is a bit formed by my West Ham friend, who, by the way, got a job working for West Ham in the ticket office. So, round of applause for Marco.
Unlucky bastard. Yeah.
Mark the Shark. He's Italian. This is going to make him really embarrassed, so I'm going to make it into a funny gif. But his opinion on Kudus was he can be really good when he fancies it. He has a shitty attitude, was his words he said to me. And I don't know if that's right. He does seem like a player who's good when he wants to be. I do kind of feel like at times he maybe doesn't try as hard as he could. Look, for me, Marmoush, who I've seen we've been linked to, brilliant player. I do trust De Zerbi to bring in the right players for his system. But at the same time, I look around the market and I think there aren't that many world-class players out there. And I know 110% Richarlison is a player De Zerbi will like. Rightly or wrongly, De Zerbi will like Richie.
Sean, we may well go into the new season with Richie if he decides he wants to stay. He's got English citizenship. The only club really for him is Everton, really, unless he goes abroad. And I can't see him snapping him up.
Yeah,
it's very cheap money. So I don't see that happening. I even envisage a situation where we get 2 wingers in and we stick with what we got. And we hope that the crosses in the supply system means that Richarlison and Solanke score goals. Because I don't want to go and wank money on Sammy Agogwa or someone or a Garassi who's 30 now, 31. I would have took him a few years ago, but I don't want to waste money on a player. We've done this before. We bought Janssen and we bought NG and we bought Nkudu and things like that. I think those days are gone under De Zerbi. He's going to sanction players that he wants. If you don't want them, then it means we have to wait till January. I think we wait, Sean, didn't you?
Would you take Rashford and Marmoush even if it meant Richie starting up front or Solanke or whoever? Rashford, Marmoush as our wingers.
Well, City want to sell Marmoush.
Yeah, I think he's a brilliant player. I think he's a brilliant player. I'd take him. I think he's better than Savino. League's better.
He's fast. Yeah. Right, he's definitely very fast, right?
I will agree with you. But like if, for instance, if we ended up with Gakpo or Rashford to play the left as Tell is the backup left wing to start the season, and you have Kudus and you have Kulusevski out right, and you told me that we went into the season with Solanke and Richarlison because they just couldn't find the right deal for a striker. Even with Marcus Rashford off the left, this forward line will score more goals.
Yeah,
without a doubt. If you told me that Rashford was like the only sign we're going to get between now and the end of the summer because things didn't materialize, I would still be happy.
I think you could drop Kulu into the mid 3 with Tonali and Fernandes. Maybe his pace is a little bit affected because of injury, whatever. He'll get up to speed. I think that midfield 3 has everything. You've got a bit of pace in Tonali, you've got defensive work rate, but you've got 3 very good players in terms of their passing ability.
Both Fernandes and Tonali are 34 kilometres. They are fast.
I know you could play Madison out wide on the left or the right. You'd have that creative ability, but you'd have that brilliant creativity in the midfield. And even if your striker's a bit naff, like maybe Richie is, you give him a chance. You give him enough chances, he will eventually put one in the net. Especially if your wingers are Marmoush and Rashford. I think you score. You will score eventually.
Okay, we're going to finish with this. Right, we know we've got Chelsea tomorrow. I should be getting up for the game unless I oversleep. Right, so men's first team, we've got Katafi. I don't know why we're playing Katafi. I looked at their squad, didn't see anything there. And I thought there's usually a reason behind these fixtures, Sean, aren't they? That you're interested in someone like, Or the
I don't know. I mean, I'm cautious. Well, I'm not cautious. Maybe nervous having listened to Terry Gibson talk about Getafe being the dirtiest team in Spain.
Yeah.
And if if I saw what Sydney did to us the other night, the other morning,
Yeah, Sydney,
God knows what this lot are going to do. And the last thing I need is players being put out of action before the season starts. I mean, when they selected these teams to play, very, very odd. Very, very odd. Getafe in particular.
Yeah, maybe Getafe are interested in our players. Maybe it's the other way around. Wouldn't surprise me. So, I mean, that's obviously at Hotspur Way. Then we got the one at the stadium on the 15th at the stadium. And then the next day, the Sunday, I'm going to that game, the friendly, and got a ticket today. And the next game against Hoffenheim is on the 16th. It just seems a bit odd.
Well, if he's going to have two teams as he aspires to, then I could see that he'll play one. He'll play one team for 80 minutes on the Saturday, and the other team for 80 minutes on the Sunday, so that they're ready for the following weekend.
And I could see Hoffenheim interested in. I'm talking about our academy players more than anything else. So I'm aghast actually. I mean, with our pre-season fixtures, the way they've been arranged. I mean, they've been arranged in the past as money spinning trips. We know that. You don't have to be a cynic to know that. And with no, communication or consultation with the manager at the time, and that's got to change. Same as the opposition's got to change as well. I don't see the point of playing. Last year we played Arsenal, Newcastle. I don't see the point of playing them abroad. All you're risking is injuries, and same with Chelsea. I don't see the point of playing them abroad. And I'd also like just to nip across the pond to where Steve is, like in America, and do a tour out there. It's overdue. We did go there under Poch, and we had that tournament, which we won, I think, actually. We're due to go over there. I mean, they've got fastest growing support in America is Spurs, and we've got they must be masochists over there as well, Steve. We've got Spurs, and we've got hundreds of supporters clubs in America.
Yep. Yeah,
hundreds.
for sure. For sure. And that's what kind of bugs me with them going last year to South Korea and this year to Australia. And it's like, if you have a tried and true market in the United States, I'll give you a good example, right? This is actually funny because this happened last night in New Jersey. At Red Bull Arena, where Leeds and Sunderland played to a damn near empty stadium. Because no disrespect, it's Leeds and Sunderland. If it was a big name club, it would have sold out. If Spurs came over here and they were playing Leeds or Sunderland, they would have sold out the entire stadium.
What was the gate then with Wrexham and Leeds out there where they drew 2-2 because Wrexham got American owners, so I'd have expected them to have a decent crowd.
Well, it's not just the American owner, Rob McElhaney. It's the fact of the TV show Welcome to Wrexham. So everybody has been made Wrexham fans over here, and so every time they come to America, they sell out.
My personal opinion is that I think pre-season should be played in UK. Like genuinely, like a Sydney FC better than I don't know. Name a championship side.
I've always said I'd like the squad back a month before the season starts. We're at Hotspur Way a month before the season. If you're then going to play QPR or Leyton or Rangers or Celtic, that's fine.
Yeah,
that's not
fine.
A big trip to go to.
I kind of agree with this.
Back a month before the season starts.
Look, Bristol's 3 hours on the coach. They're a championship side, so it's not like they're terrible. They're obviously a good. I feel like there's misconception with some people, but Bristol are a championship side. They are way better at football than I am. Any of you will ever be, unless you're Gareth Bale or something. They're better than any of us will ever be. That will be a competitive fixture where the players can actually test themselves, and it's 3 hours either way.
Right. All right, just one more thing, really. We're not going to talk about this ongoing saga. He's going to come. That's it, right? When? Probably next week, right? Sousa, we know Porter have shown interest. It was Benfica. That's it. This I'll put in for a bit.
That is such a surprise, don't you think? The Sousa one.
Yeah, I wouldn't see more of him. He's fast as He's fast as the wind on the left. He played Liverpool away, didn't he? So he got blooded at a tough ground to go to.
He's played 54 minutes for us, and we're turning a profit of 5 million, isn't it?
Yeah, it's disgusting, isn't it? I wanted to see more of this kid, right? But you know, we've dragged in over 100 mil. We spent 230. So, but actually,
He'll be more comfortable because at least they
I
speak
did it on
Portuguese.
AI, and actually, we have actually spent. This is artificial intelligence. AI said Spurs net spend is actually 148 to 151 mil. That's what we spent, not that 230. And we're still going to get more money. We'll get money for Ash Phillips. There's others, you know, that'll probably go as well.
Right.
We're talking the ones that are 20, 21, like, because like if they ain't done it then, the likes of Williams, Barnett and all that. I'll put this in for a bit of fun for you guys. Lucas William Barnett makes Lucas Bergvall obsolete. Bergvall leaving. Sean, is he going? Deserby said
I think Bergvall's leaving, but I don't think it's because of Luca Williams Barnett.
But Williams Barnett could take his position. This is what I'm alluding to here. And he might, but then he's not 18 yet, so he's more likely to get a loan. But I would just like to see one of these kids come through. You know, him or
Go ahead.
Our youth teams have been tearing it up for the last few seasons.
Yeah,
and we've got not one player.
You have to go back to what you alluded to earlier. Winks and Skip came through. Skip had good games at Norwich, didn't he, and all that. And then you had Carl Walker-Peters came through. They did a job for a period of time, but they weren't upgrades, were they? I mean, even Potts said Winks is his Iniesta Mark II.
To be fair, in Winks's defence, he did have a debilitating ankle injury, which he only got corrected at Sampdoria. So, you know.
I'm going to join in on the Winks defence here. Winks had a brilliant pass. I do think his confidence was shot by Mourinho because he made one mistake, which, let's be honest, who in life hasn't made a mistake? He made one mistake against West Ham, and Mourinho slated him and then dropped him. Now, imagine you're 23, my age. You make an error in a football game. And then your manager basically turns around and says, you're useless.
You don't throw players under the bus in public. You just don't do that.
Well, yeah, but he did it in an Amazon documentary. So
he did it to Dele Alli.
He did it to Dele as well, but he did it to Winks. Winks was super. Like, go on YouTube after you finish watching this and search Spurs 3, Real Madrid 1. Winks was integral to 2 of the goals in that game when we destroyed the best team in the world. With Harry Kane, Winks played some brilliant passes. Obviously, he had an injury, some confidence issues, but Winks, his passing ability was superb. I think with the correct management, he could have genuinely been a top player. Yeah, he was a bit lightweight.
He was in a good team at that time, and then players went.
Well, yeah,
he was in a good team under Poch.
Well, yeah,
so
but
that helps you as a player.
Yeah, but I mean, if you've got a good pass, you've got a good pass. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, throw me into that Spurs side, and everyone's going to go, "Oh, James is terrible."
But the Sousa thing, I'm in line with you here, Sean. I mean, I wanted to see him. I wanted to see a bit more Eloge Velez as well, but we didn't do that. We went and paid money for him. We've done it again. I mean, it's going to get to a stage with players.
We're obviously copying Chelsea now. We're going to become a player trading organisation.
Yeah, and then hope that like maybe Williams Barnett does make it or Mikey Moore does make it. You get a lot of Spurs fans critique the academy. Well, in that case, why don't we just shut it and pack up and go? Right? You don't do it because like you think there's hope of getting through. This is why, you know, the 500 players in the 20 squads in the league, they all came through their academies. Whether you think they're good enough or not, they came through.
Sorry, Adrian. I think fundamentally, look at Barcelona. There's a Barcelona way of playing football, which was invented. Johan Cruyff, whatever we want to call him, he was the guy who invented La Masia. And there's a very clear path to the first team. There has to be a Spurs way of playing, which I think is pretty obvious when, you know, who are the true pillars of Tottenham? Bill Nicholson is one of them, obviously. We play attacking football, possession football. To dare is to do. We don't like defensive football. That is our identity as a football club.
Mm. Yeah. It
So
is.
why isn't that ingrained from the manager to the youth academy? Why isn't there a coherent, this is how we play, this is the Tottenham way of playing football from under nines or however young it goes to the first team?
Because we haven't got football people at the top of the organisation.
Well, you got Simon Davies is in charge of the academy.
Oh,
And the one thing about the academy over the last few years with Wayne Burnett, and sad to lose Steve Lewis to Ipswich, I've done a fantastic job as well as Wayne Burnett, right? Who converted Donnelly from a striker from Northern Ireland into a number 10. I mean, and he's a good player, but will he have a career at Spurs? Probably not. Like most of them, won't have a career at Spurs. But they'll have good. They'll all end up millionaires, though. They'll all end up with good livings out of the game. But the thing with the I had this discussion on Cookie's show yesterday evening. I mean, the thing with the European clubs is the top elite ones like PSG, their academy's brilliant. Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. I mean, the thing with these top clubs is, unlike here, they are the ones that get the biggest draw on all the best young players, right? In the UK, it's a bit different because you've got more teams competing. Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United, Liverpool, Man City and us. And we pay wages to these kids and bribe their parents with the promise of a car or a house or whatever. And we get them in. But in Europe, these kids, we know that Italy's skin. These kids get game time because a lot of the teams in them leagues, they can't afford to go out and buy replacements like Brighton or a Hull even or something like that can go and afford to fix a position by going and buying one. So they play their kids, they get more game time, they develop quicker. Quicker.
I think with Barcelona in particular, with La Masia, there's a clear pathway. You play this way, and so let's say year 7, you play a 4-3-3. You're the holding midfielder. You're going to play exactly the same role until you're in the men's team. You're not doing anything different. You're just doing it at a higher standard of football, if that makes sense. At Spurs, there's no consistency because you go from, you're going to try and progress the ball. You're going to try and go forward with it, to Jose Mourinho, who's like, no, you're going to keep the ball, to Antonio Conte, who's like, actually, you're a centre-back. So there's no consistency.
James, all the academy teams play attacking football. Take it from me. I watch the games, right? They all play.
There's no consistency.
It's a no-fear situation, unless you're one of those that's going to win a cup or up in the league.
But there's no actual philosophy.
They are braver. They go for it. They're more enjoyable games than the Premier League. Some of the Premier League games I've watched is
there's no actual footballing philosophy behind it. And I do sort of think of look at Barcelona. Their youth team will play exactly the same way their men's team do.
And Spain do as well.
Exactly.
You make a good point, right? I remember Gus Hiddink saying when he was manager of Korea, right, during that World Cup, he said your national team should play the same way as your football leagues play. But we don't play one particular style in the football in our Premier League. Play low block, mid block, high press. We don't play it. And players now, the problem with the players now, and I'm no coach or expert on football, just watched a lot of football, right? Players now, they get stuck with this mentality, this Premier League mentality that when you get a goal in front, you hold on to it for your dear life. Spain didn't do it when they played France. They were 1-0 up and they went for the second goal. England scored a goal and thought they were going to sit on it against Argentina. There's a mentality issue with Premier League football and the coaching system in this country, and it needs to change because I don't think Premier League football is a great watch. It's fast. It's for foreign teams. It's the fastest league in the world. Very athletic, so it looks good. I remember once when they changed Premier League football to German football in Germany, they weren't showing it both, and the fans were screaming for Premier League football to be brought back on the football because it's so fast and exciting. It's not a great watch. How many games do you see even the pundits say on Talkshire Radio or Sky Sports, right? Or Sky Sports, right? How many do you hear the pundits say, "Oh, what a great game of football I've seen today"? They don't, James.
No. Look at even Arsenal, who, by the way, read into what happened in 1905. They never earned their spot in the first division. They bribed their way. They came fourth in the second division.
1920 it was when that happened.
Yeah. Anyway,
Post-war. First World War.
Yeah,
complete corruption and bribery. Yeah, goes with the club, doesn't it? Same club who played Thomas Partey, despite knowing his offences. Anywho, I just fundamentally feel like there should be a Tottenham way of playing, which is attacking football, possession-based, high press, which that's what we all want.
The Spurs way,
that's what we all want, right?
The Spurs way was introduced by, you got to go back to Peter McVilliam in 1900, right? When he took the football of philosophy from Inverness Thistle, right, which was in those days keeping the ball on the deck. That was absolutely unheard of, because Sean, remember, even the old Spurs ground when the pitch used to cut up, even in the 70s and 60s and all that, it was a sand pit. Now, you didn't play football on the deck, but Peter took that. When he got a move to Newcastle, he won, I think it was one FA Cup and like 7 league titles there, and he became manager of Spurs in 1913. And he brought that football philosophy with him. And then football was suspended for the First World War. And as Sean knows, after the war, we got kicked down the league. But it didn't affect us that much because we pissed the league. We pissed the league under Peter McWilliam, and then playing the Spurs way of football. And then the following year, we met Wolverhampton Wanderers in the FA Cup final at Stamford Bridge and beat them with a goal in the second half by Jimmy Dimmock. And that was the first time the Cockerel appeared on the Spurs shirt, right? Then McVilliam, he went away to Middlesbrough for a colossal sum of £1,500 a year. But he come back for a second stint at Spurs in 1938. And then he had Vic Buckingham in his team from the Spurs Northfleet Academy. And he had Arthur Rowe in his team, who'd go on and win the league, the second division title in 1950, and follow up with the league title, first division title in 51. And he had Alf Ramsey in his team, Bill Nicholson and Eddie Bailey, the winger, right? We all know what Bill Nicholson did in 1960-odd. Peter McWilliam retired, but his philosophy was ingrained in Vic Buckingham, who I told you about Ajax and what's. But before he went there, he took over Pegasus, who were the joint amateur team of Oxford and Cambridge University, right? Got them to the FA Cup amateur final. They beat Bishop Auckland 2-1 in front of 100,000. Job with Bradford Park Avenue, and then, like I said earlier, then got a job with West Bromwich Albion, wins the FA Cup in 1954, and narrowly wins the double with them, right? So, and that was when he got the move to Ajax of Amsterdam, right? Changed the whole Spurs manager Vic Buckingham and Arthur Rowe and Bill Nicholson. They changed the face of European football with the style of football. Pioneers of total football they were, right?
What I don't get is you go to Ajax and in Amsterdam, and they have a museum to total football. You got Johan Cruyff, legend of the game, person, in my opinion, the most important person in football history. Rinus Michels, they've got photos of him, and it's instilled. You're in the Ajax academy, it will be instilled in you. How important?
Yeah, they've got a certain style.
Cruyff
They've kept that style because they have to, because they need it for the survival and bring money into their football club.
But you go to Barcelona, another huge football team. Cruyff is instilled in you. Pep is instilled in you. All this is instilled in you, and obviously they have their own, other issues. Why at Spurs do youth academy players come through and Bill Nicholson isn't given the same regard? Why is there not this? This is how we play at Tottenham.
He won 8 trophies, Bill Nicholson.
Why is that? Yeah, but why? You come to Spurs, and who the fuck is Bill Nicholson? Why is that not treated in the same way Ajax treat Johan Cruyff, Rinus Michels? You go to Forest, Brian Clough. Why is there not a? Why? Is
we got the kudos. He got the kudos at the time. I mean, like we're winning the double, right? And then winning the FA Cup the following year, and then winning a European Cup Winners' Cup the following year, right? And then when beating Chelsea in the cup final in '67 with goals from Robertson and Saul, and then winning the League Cup in '71, the year after its inauguration, then winning the Europa League in '72, then winning the League Cup in '73, and then resigning after Spurs fans rioted in '74 in Amsterdam.
Yeah, but my point was,
he's got the kudos. He's got
why are the youth players not taught this is what it means to play for Spurs, and this is the Spurs way of playing? You got to Ajax, Barcelona.
You don't know what they're taught, though, James. Nobody knows.
I do, because I've spoken to youth academy players before.
We did we did try with the players and the resources we had before. We tried it with we did it with Birkinshaw, we did it with Yarl, Redknapp, Poch. Poch raised the bar for us again. We used to dream, wouldn't it be great if we got in the UEFA Cup, we got European football. And suddenly Poch raised the bar to no, Champions League, right? He raised the bar. And then since Poch went, when he was sacked in November after 5.5 seasons, we went backwards and downhill. And when we finished second, third and fourth, it was 6th, 7th, 4th under Conte, and then we finished 8th. The decline was there for everyone to see, right?
Yeah,
the decline was there.
I mean, Poch was unfairly sacked, in my opinion. He should have been given more time. I mean, look at the signings you got.
James, we're going to close because we've gone off on tangents.
Sorry,
I'll give you a bit of history. Everyone knows I'm a historian anyway of Spurs. So, So I hope you've enjoyed a few facts that I've thrown at you. It's been a good show, guys. I mean, we've got 110 of you listening on various platforms, so you must like what we're doing. If you do, there is a subscribe button in the bottom right-hand corner. We can't see it. Please hit the subscribe button and subscribe to the channel. We are a new show base. We've only been going a couple of years, so all your support is welcome. Any support. I want to thank everyone in the chat for their comments and questions. Big up to everyone who bothers to watch us on playback, because I know we get a lot of views on our videos after we close shows as well. So so people come back to us because they like us. So once again, thank you all, and I'll play you out with this.
We are Tottenham till we die. We are Tottenham till we die. Spurs die hearts, heart and soul. We are Tottenham till we die. We are Tottenham till we die. Spurs die hearts, heart and soul. We are Tottenham till we die. We are Tottenham till we die. Spurs die hearts, heart and soul. Blue. We are Tottenham till we die. We are Tottenham till we die. Spurs die hearts, heart and soul, lily white and navy blue.